This episode of the Cigar Social Podcast is brought to you by Black Star Line Cigars. From the highly rated Warwich to the outstanding Lalibela and classic El Milagro, these cigars are absolutely incredible and use the absolute best tobacco from Aganorsa leaf, which is farmed and expertly handcrafted in Esteli, Nicaragua. Visit them at blackstarline.shop and use promo code CigarSocial15 for 15% off your entire order and receive free shipping on all orders over $100. Black Star Line Cigars. Cigars are a daily operation. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cigar Social Podcast. This is episode 25. My name is Matt. I am your host. Thank you for joining. Today's guest is a guy who's been in the shed before, actually about a year ago. He was here for episode 6, where we talked about Black Star Line cigars, his experiences, his backgrounds, and even found out that he sold knockoff cologne for a while. We discussed how he connected with El Titan de Bronze and then off to Aganorsa Leaf. His cigar portfolio includes the highly rated Warwich, the phenomenal Lalibela, and the classic El Milagro. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner and CEO of Black Star Line Cigars, Aric Bey. How's it going?
Hey, what's happening, man? How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for hanging out again.
Of course.
It's been a while. It's been almost about a year.
Yeah. It's,
a lot has changed on my end and probably yours as well.
Yeah, a ton of stuff, bro. When doing your intro, I had to, not to interrupt you, but it sounded like you said I was in the shit. I was like, wait a minute, I was in the shit. But I was like, oh, the shed. I was like, oh, okay, I got you.
The shed. The old infamous Smoke Shed Studio. I think when you were here last, it was just, 2 microphones with nothing. It was bare walls, and we're still trying to figure this out. So, what are you smoking over there?
Oh, it's a sample that I'm working on. So, I got it at CPE from a new factory that I'm working with. And I smoked one right away, but it had only been rolled for like a week, so it's still brand new. So I let this the last one that I had, so I let it sit for a couple more weeks so I can try it again to see how it changed from when I first smoked it. So so this one is going into production in a couple of days. So hopefully it'll be ready for PCA or right after PCA, and I'll be releasing a press release on who the factory is too. So.
Okay. All right.
I think everybody will be very, very pleased and surprised of who I'm working with this time. Because it's not Aganorsa or Tabacalera La Isla or El Titan.
Okay. I'm excited. I actually have my favorite. This is my by far. Everyone has their own, and they're all good in their own ways. Personally, my favorite, the Dark Warwich, Corona. With the old school, hard to find bands from the original release.
Oh yeah. That's a great stick, bro. Everybody kept asking me for a darker version of the Connecticut Shade Warwich, and it took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And I actually didn't make too big of a change with it. All I did was change the wrapper, put more ligero in it. It's the same blend, and it came out phenomenal.
It is. I mean, I've had both very well constructed, great blends, and phenomenal taste to it. But the Dark Warwich has that Corojo pepperiness to it that I love. And again, like you said, there's that little more pop to the ligero. Really good cigar. This is a 6x46. It's from Nicaragua, a Corojo 99 wrapper. MSRP is around, I think I saw $11 or $11.99 or so.
Yeah, depending on where you buy it from. Yeah.
And the original release was November of 2021. And this one is rolled at Aganorsa, right? This wasn't the El Milagros were El Titan de Bronze, and then
the Aganorsa. Yeah. So they replicated it for me.
Our friends at Aganorsa. So shout out to them.
Oh yeah, good old Terrence Riley.
Yeah, I have sweatpants on. I don't have khakis on, but
I got on sweats today too. I mean, the outfit isn't right. If you don't have the polo with it tucked into the khakis, it's not right. So you can't half do it. So
no,
it's either all
you got to
go.
Yeah, it's your State Farm your Best Buy look, maybe even a Target ensemble.
Yeah, you know we're called the Aganorsa Khaki Crew. So whenever we're wearing our polos and khakis, we're all Aganorsa Khaki Crew. So, yeah.
What are you sipping anything over there?
I'm not. When I'm smoking samples, I don't drink alcohol because I don't want it to change the profile of the cigar. So, or otherwise, I'd be drinking this rare breed I got sitting right next to me. So, but yeah, no,
right.
I'm not. I'm gonna enjoy this tobacco as we're talking. Maybe halfway through, I'll kind of know how the cigar is going. Maybe halfway through, I'll pour something. Because I was on an interview last night, and that's why I was destroying that rare breed last night. So yeah, so about halfway through, I'll pour something with you. Mm-hmm.
Hey, it looks like you were supposed to be here in the shed, and I gave you the heads up about a couple of days ago that it was going to be 22 degrees, and my ventilation is a little loud, and if we had multiple people in here, it's going to be smoky. So it looks like you're in your man cave.
Oh yeah. This is where all my ideas come from. When I want to sit around and sit and think with a drink about how I'm going to win, that's what I do. I sit out here and I just think and smoke and listen to music. And if somebody's here, we talking shit. If not, I'm talking shit to myself. So I just don't answer myself. That's all.
That would just be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I picked a bottle that I saw on your website, and I know in the description of the Dark Warwich, it says go with the Willet Pot Still, which what we had in episode 6.
Right.
But the picture on the website had the Dark Warwich leaned up against a bottle of 1792.
1792. Yeah.
And I've seen it everywhere. The bars, I've seen it at the liquor stores. Never had it. Never tried it. And
1792 is good.
Yeah, and so I was looking for 1792 locally, and I went to Costco, and Costco had the 1 liter bottle, like the Costco style, for like an extra $10 more than the regular size went for. So I'm like, I picked it up. A friend of mine went through about half of it last weekend, just because I had to try it, and phenomenal stuff. This is affordable, complex sipper. It's made from a signature high rye recipe. I get like caramel, vanilla. It's not too robust, nothing crazy. It has almost no burn to it whatsoever. It's just a smooth sipper.
It reminds me, it's roughly about 95 proof, maybe.
93.7.
No, I was close.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those just easy, and it's good because it doesn't pull away from the robustness of the Dark Warwich, because the Dark Warwich has just like that complexity to it that if you had something, super hot or super flavorful, you're gonna just cross. But so just to have something sipping on, folks, this is like the normal size bottle is about $25.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't go wrong. I feel besides the Chattanooga 91, this is probably my second favorite bottle with the $30 and under range, There
you go. So what you need to try that Dark Warwich with is Room 101 gin. So
we talked about
gin goes fantastic with that Dark Warwich. It brings the floral notes out of the cigar, and it doesn't bring them out like it's annoying floral. It's like a really pleasant balance that brings out the floral of both products. So I stumbled across that, and I was smoking and I was drinking the Room 101 gin, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, yeah, this is really good. So
I gotta try to find it. We got Boofy on the show in March, April, May, March. May. It's 2 months away. So I gotta maybe try to find that bottle for that show so I can kind of sip it with him. But I heard good things about it. I just don't know if I can find it locally. That might be a special order.
Yeah, no, you can't find that locally. And then whatever company that ships his orders, they can't ship it to Illinois because I tried. But luckily that's my boy, so he just sent me a bottle to the house. So I was like, oh, that's even better.
Well, maybe we should get on a call with him later and ask him nicely, since
since, you know, the Bay Boofy bromance is alive, that maybe we can get a bottle of a sampler sent to the shed.
Right. Yeah, I'll ask him to see if he's cool. I'm sure it's not a problem. Because I actually need another bottle too. So
see, there you go.
I was going to ask anyway, but you know,
two birds, one stone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bottle costs like $30 or something like that. So even if I have to pay for it, it's fine.
Yeah,
shit, I don't care. I just want the spirit, because I don't even fucking like gin. Gin is disgusting to me. But his gin is actually different to me, and it was interesting, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then like I said, when I smoked the dark Woolwich while drinking it, I was like, oh yeah, this is the business right here. I actually would put that as the main pairing for the dark Woolwich, but you can't fucking get his spirit everywhere. So I always roll with alcohol or spirits that are readily available for people to go get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a gin person at all. Recently, with having people on a show talking about it and trying different things, there's been a couple of gins that caught my attention.
Okay.
Castle and Key made a phenomenal one, and Koval, actually, local Koval makes a really good gin.
Okay. Yeah. Brook Lobby has one too, and it just tastes like gin to me. You know. Yeah. Because they said it's supposed to have some kind of peat aspect to it, and I tried it, and I was like, bro, this is just fucking gin. There's nothing different about it.
It's straight up licking a Christmas tree. Like, yeah, that's not. I don't want that.
Right, the ornaments.
Yeah. Hey man, well, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you've been busy. You've been traveling. Speaking of traveling, where were you last, and what were you doing?
I was in Dallas, and I had two events. One was at Blowing Smoke in Lancaster. Dallas. This is just south of Dallas. And then the main event was that Saturday was the Underground Fest, or NFG 23. NFG stands for No Fucks Given. So that's Underground's annual fest. So I always release some kind of special cigar for that event. Like last year, the release was Lalibela Lanceros.
Yes, so and we'll get into that one in a little bit. But that was a huge hit.
Oh yeah.
What'd you release this year?
So I work with Tabacalera La Isla in Dominican Republic. It's my first time working with a Dominican factory.
Okay.
The owner Ostos is actually Terrence's cousin. So I was trying to get away from Terrence, but I just couldn't. I was still fucking around with him in some form or fashion. So yeah. And I'll say this on air. I tell Terrence almost every day, "Fuck you." So if he sees this, Terrence, fuck you. So,
oh man,
so we went down there for the UG Fest, and Terrence was down there dressed like a butterfly or something like that, and because he had wings on his back and stuff. So
because didn't they come out with a new an Aganorsa, like kind of like what they did a couple of years ago? They did the
Saint Terrence thing,
Saint Terrence of Aganorsa.
Yeah, so he actually had wings on his back. And,
this year he's like an angel or something, I believe.
Yeah, he was either a butterfly or a moth or a fairy or something. I don't know what the fuck he was, but it was something. I don't know. But the blend I released through Tabacalera La Isla is a Connecticut broadleaf with a Dominican binder and Nicaraguan Dominican filler. It was a 5x50. It's Robusto, medium full stick. It was very delicious, and it came out to be a huge hit at the Underground Fest. So we didn't sell out, but we came damn near close. Like when we left, it was like maybe 200 cigars left. So
wow.
And then they've been selling them online, and I heard there's 100 left, or just under 100 left. So they're going. So, but no worries for those that didn't get a chance to get them. I am bringing that blend out in the regular production for around PCA time in July. It is going to be called Mr. Fahrenheit. I got that from Freddie Mercury for the fans of Queen. He sings about Mr. Fahrenheit and Don't Stop Me Now. And then I'm also paying homage to firefighters too. So it's a firefighter stick. And I'm already connecting with firefighter charity here in Chicago, because I'm going to donate $1 of each cigar that's produced. I'm going to donate $1 of that to the firefighter charity. So so anybody that buys a cigar, you're supporting firefighters.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're a retired fire. I was volunteer firefighter in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So that hits close to home to me as well. So I appreciate what you're doing there.
Oh yeah. And Cigar Dojo did that band for me too. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're my go-to band guys right now until they tell me they don't have time for me. Yeah,
right.
see, you asked where am I going next? I was supposed to go to Detroit at the end of the month, but that got rescheduled. A couple of lounges couldn't do it around that time, so we're pushing it back a couple of months, and then we're going to go up there, and that'll be my first time doing events in Detroit. I'm supposed to go to Houston.
313.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go to Houston, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis. So yeah, yeah, bro, I'm on the run, man. I'm on the run.
Yeah.
I normally do two cities a month, and then I do 3 events in each city, every time we go. So, Memphis, I might end up doing 4 events because I got enough lounges in the Memphis area to be able to do that. So I just got to work out the days to make sure, everybody got the day open that I need. So. Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of my old traveling days. I did that for about 10 years. Just airport, hotel, home for a couple, back on the plane. And dude, it's not easy. It sounds fun. It sounds luxurious, but travel takes a tear on you. But if you're ever in the Chattanooga area, let me know when you're heading down to Chattanooga, because that'll just have to, I would have to drive down there and hang out with you down there. I got family down there, so that'd be fun.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I've never been to Chattanooga, so that'd be something new for me. They have a lot of cigar lounges there, or?
They have a couple. Right outside of Chattanooga, I believe there's one outside of, I think it might still be in Ottawa, called Burns, which is the biggest humidor in Tennessee. I think their claim to fame is, and it might be worth checking out.
Okay, yeah, I never heard of them. So yeah, either me or Cliff will reach out and see, if they, because you got to check and see if people are interested in carrying boutique cigars. Some lounges they just want to carry like Davidoffs and Padrones and the mainstream shit. Yeah, so if they're boutique friendly, I'll definitely reach out to them, and if they want to check out some samples, I'll send a few out and see where it goes. You know what I mean?
So last time we were here, we chatted in a shed, and like we said, there's a lot happened. A few things that I know of. I'm sure there's others that I don't. Let's start with some of the new sizes that were released in this past year. You had starting with the Lalibela Lancero. Dude, I know we know people that just eat it up. People that aren't even fans of Lanceros are just digging it. I personally loved it too. I don't buy Lanceros. It's just something I don't reach for at a humidor. But when I tried that, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to get a couple of those too. What inspired you?
If I bring Dark Warwish out in the Lancero, that's going to be delicious. It's going to be delicious. Yeah. So
you'll have more of that Corojo 99 around the Lancero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that may be coming out. I don't know if it'll come out this year, maybe early next year or something. But
what inspired you to go Lancero? A lot of people steer away from that direction.
Yeah, Lanceros are my favorite size. A lot of people don't even know that. Lanceros are my favorite size out of cigar because you're getting all the flavor out of there. And if there's any bullshit in that cigar, you're going to be able to taste it because there's not a lot of filler in there. So it's just all flavor, or it's going to be all trash. It's going to be one of the two. So depending on what the blend is, Yeah. So that's what made me want to bring it out, because I just felt like that blend would be fantastic in that size, and it turned out I was right. Everybody's going crazy over that blend, and I'm actually getting little threats like if it doesn't come back out soon, it's going to be a problem. So
that was my next question. I know that was a limited release.
Yeah.
Going into regular production, maybe. Ish.
I'm not sure if it'd be regular production. It maybe each year I'll just make more of them. Because the thing is it's a pricey cigar. Because for one, Aganorsa doesn't grow San Andreas tobacco. They source it in.
This is the only tobacco they source in, I believe.
Right. So they source that in. So they pay somebody to get it, and then they upcharge that on me too. So, and then a lot of people don't know Lanceros is the most expensive size to roll. that I know of, because it's, it's a smaller ring gauge, so it's harder to roll it to, to that perfection that they ordinarily would get in a Toro or a Corona box press or whatever. So, so it's harder to roll than the San Andreas getting sourced in, which keeps bumping the price up, So that's why I was like, well, that'll be my first limited edition cigar, because, it's just a pricey stick to me,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Lalibela was also in Gordo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You thinking about maybe breaking out a Lalibela Robusto?
Somebody was actually talking to me about that last night, and yes, that is on the plan to come out as well. That blend would be delicious in a Corona or a Robusto as well. So, with Lalibela, the Gordo size, I don't know if you know, the blend was actually blended for the Gordo size.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the original intention. That was the original size for the blend. Then I scaled it down to the Toro, because I knew once I cut out some more of that filler that the Ligero would make it even stronger, and I was right about that one too. So, because the Toro size is definitely different than the Gordo. The Gordo still has strength, and it's still full body. It's just the Toro it'll punch you a little quicker, Mm-hmm.
Another Vitola was released last year. You had hinted to it when we talked. The Black Star line, the Dark Warwich, is now in Robusto.
Oh yeah, that's actually my favorite size for that blend too right now.
I will say that we met at a Herf, and you handed me one of those, and I tried it. Mm-hmm. That in the Robusto, that's it's fun.
It's a beast in that size. Would you believe the Cigar Snob reviewed it, and they gave it an 86? And he put on there, I don't know if Aric reviewed it or who reviewed it, but whoever reviewed it said it had bitter notes in it. And I was like, nah. But then, I don't know how the cigar was being kept. Once it leaves me, whatever you're doing with it, I don't know. So, but I was really baffled by that, because I've smoked like 1,000 of those, and I've never gotten any bitter notes, and nobody else has ever gotten bitter notes out of it either. So that was kind of weird to me.
And you know what? When it comes to those ratings, obviously those are each person's individual opinion. We did the blind review here with the guys from the Chi-Town crew, and the cigar I handed to my right, when I gave to Marty, I gave him the Aganorsa, the Rare Leaf.
Okay.
And when I first looked it up, it was like, oh, well, so-and-so rated it an 86, and then so-and-so rated it a 93. And I'm like, well, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I found 4 people who did it. I found the average.
Yeah.
The average was 90. I'm like, that's a solid, I'll give it that. But there's some people who just, I don't know how they kept it, like you said, or what they're drinking with it, or what their palate, translates it as, so it could be completely different to other people.
Yeah, if there was anything bitter about that blend, I wouldn't have brought it out until I figured out why it was bitter, because I normally I could pick up bitterness in your cigar. It doesn't matter what cigar, even if it's a sample that I'm smoking, I'll pick up the bitterness in it. Never got it out of Dark Warwich at all.
Yeah, and what I also saw, I believe Small Batch has it on sale. There's a Lancero Warwich out there now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you taking the Warwich down the gauntlet of sizes and maybe bringing a more different, maybe a Gordo Warwich or, anything like that? Or
there will never be a Gordo Warwich, because the wrapper can't handle that size. So the Connecticut Shade wrapper is very thin and is very temperamental. Even with the box press, they have to be careful with the 6x46 box press, because if they box it, if they're too rough with it, little parts of the wrapper start breaking off. So, and the reason why I know that wrapper doesn't work in a bigger size is because I tried it. and like right when you start smoking it, the whole fucking thing just starts cracking up, so it just can't handle over a size of, say, like 6x52 for a Connecticut Shade. Now the Dark Warwich can go up to a Gordo, because the Corojo 99 wrapper is more supple than that, and thicker than the Connecticut Shade wrapper. So that could go into a bigger size. But the Connecticut Warwich, no. The Connecticut Warwich Lanceto's been out for a while though. It's got bundles, boxes, everything. So that's been out for a while. I was smoking on the interview last night. I was smoking a Connecticut Lentano. So, and that Joker got me high too. I went in and laid on the floor for a little while.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to me.
Yeah, and I was drinking the rare breed too, and the rare breed is 112 proof. So between the two, oh yeah, I had to lay down for a second and collect myself.
So with you got the Connecticut, you got the Connie, you got the Corojo.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking of maybe adding anything else to the Warwich line? Or are you going to kind of leave it there, maybe like a Cameroon or maybe an Escudo, maybe like an extra dark Warwich?
Well, I'm not familiar with sourcing tobacco into Aganorsa because all those wrappers you mentioned, Aganorsa doesn't have them. So I'm not sure exactly how I can change it again. I mean, they have a sun-grown Habano I could use. And they got the Corojo 99, they got the Corojo 2012, they got San Andreas, and I may be missing a wrapper, but it's only so many options of wrappers I'm going to be able to do with Warwich. So probably just to keep making Warwich interesting, I'll probably just keep adding a size in here and there, until I fill out a nice portfolio just for Connecticut Warwich. So, like I said, I can do more with the dark Warwich because of the Corojo 99 wrapper can handle a little more than the Connecticut shade. So, yeah, but
like I mentioned, I have the old label of the Warwich here since we've talked last, and like you mentioned, our friends at Cigar Dojo kind of gave it a little bit of a makeover, if you would. The labels for Warwich, the labels for Lalibela. I think the El Milagros are the same, right? They stay the same band.
I may have them play around with those bands just to make them pop even more, because the bands now are cool. I think they could be better though. So I may, like I said, down the line, when I'm getting ready to re-up on El Milagro, I may have them play with those bands and see, because the thing is that the Black Star line that's on there, that's my alternate logo. So use that, and then the black with the blue stripes or the black with the red stripes, that was the original band when I was with LT Nebranze. But I fucked up when I put that band out because it had no branding on it. It was a black, black in the middle, red on the top, red on the bottom, and it had the Chicago Stars embossed on it. But it didn't say Black Star Line anywhere on the band. So people loved the cigar, but they were just like, but whose cigar is it? They didn't have any branding on it.
Right.
But, that was me being brand new to the industry. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So, and it showed. But as I learned, I was like, all right, we need to change those bands. So I changed it to the current band. So it looks like the old band from the back, but then it has Black Star Line on the front. So, but like I said, I probably have Dojo play with them. Freak them a little bit for me, make them real sexy, and then that'll be the permanent band for those blends.
So let's get to the new new cigar coming soon. I believe it's an exclusive for Binny's, right? Or will it be released anywhere else, or just the Binny's locations?
Right now, just Binny's, because I did the cigar specifically for Binny's.
Yeah.
It's called John Baptiste. We're paying homage to John Baptiste Point du Sable, and he's the founder of Chicago. He's a Haitian man. So a lot of people don't know that Chicago was founded by a Haitian man. So, I feel like it's my duty to keep on teaching history, because that's why I like to use stuff that means things and stuff that's interesting and that sparks conversation. And then people are smoking, and then they want to look up who was John Point du Sable, John Baptiste Point du Sable. So, they'll look him up and see he spoke several languages. He was a trader, so he traded furs and all kinds of stuff. He's a businessman, so he did a lot. Back in the time in the 1800s or whenever, I think Chicago was it chartered in 1887 or something like that, if I remember. I can't remember, but so it's a 100% Chicago cigar. Binny's, Black Star Line, du Sable. So
that's awesome.
I'm paying homage to the city wholeheartedly on this one.
That band, is that band was designed by you, or was that who designed
Dojo.
that band?
Dojo
did that too?
Yeah.
Man,
Yep. They are my go-to guys for bands right now. So they do a great job. Jordan and Aric, they do a great job. And only way they won't do the bands if they tell me they don't have time to do it. That's the only way. So,
where's that cigar rolled? Where's that going to come from?
That's Aganorsa. Yep. So it's a Corojo 2012 wrapper instead of the Corojo 99 this time. So Corojo 2012 varietal. Then Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's a medium full stick. Very, very flavorful. So, yeah.
I had the Corona, the Corojo 2012 when our buddy Terrence was here in the shed. He did the experience with me, so it was awesome to try. The 99 versus the 2012, the flavor differences that you're going to experience with those. So I'm interested to see how that 2012 sits on top of that blend.
Did he have his polo tucked in his khakis when he did the interview?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Of course he did.
There we go. He's the khaki king.
What size is that going to be released in?
6x52. It's a Toro.
Okay.
So they're in bundles of 10. So and they're not in boxes; they're all in butcher paper. So
cool.
And cheers to you because I just poured some rare breeds. So I'm halfway through the cigar, so I already know where this is going. So I'm gonna see how it's gonna go with this liquor now. You gotta try. You gotta pair. You gotta test. It's or validate, I guess. Be good. Right. It may or may not be good. We'll see. But,
hashtag ABV.
Right. Yep. Always be validating. Mm-hmm. But
that Benny's release,
that blend is gonna be great.
When is that going to be on shelves?
I am anticipating June. Is my thoughts, because the thing is it's just I ordered 3,000 cigars, so it's been taking Aganorsa 6 months to roll cigars, but that's for my normal order because I got a quote for an order that I'm getting ready to put through is for 23,000 cigars, so that's going to take them 6 months to roll. But for 3,000, I had to talk to Terrence, is it going to take 6 months to roll 3,000 cigars? And he was like, no, brother. No. We'll get it out to you. We'll get it out way before 6 months. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I appreciate that, bro. So, hey, like I said, we're in March. So I think once they get done rolling and they let it age and, they package it all up, it should be around June, when it's warm here. So, and we're looking to do some kind of, if we can pull it off, some kind of event at Benny's, like a launch event for the cigar, So that'd be great. So I'll definitely be letting all the Chi-Town crew know, and everybody that's free, come out and hang out, and if I have it my way, we're gonna have liquor vendors there and food, and then the cigars, and we do it at the Lincoln Park location if they'll let us do it there because they have a patio out back to smoke. And
cool.
Smoke. They have a bar in there. They have, it'd be nice if we could pull it off. We just got to see if the area is open or available when we're trying to do it. So,
Speaking of Benny's, I know you're obviously have that good relationship, especially with two of your cigars making their top 10 in 2022. Oh, yeah. Lalibela made number 10. The Dark Warwich, this one, made number 3.
Yep.
Which obviously super impressive, and congratulations on that.
Obviously, thanks,
with 46 locations or whatever they have, to have that 47 locations, it's cool to know that you were able to kind of rise above some of those big boxy mass-produced cigars. And
I beat the one thing, Big Brothers, Tatuaje, and Roma Craft, and all of them are in those humidors, and those cigars stood up with them, and proved that they're just as good, if not better.
The one thing that I noticed, I was at a Benny's 2 days ago, here in the Geneva location. I was walking through the humidor, and I noticed that the product placement on the shelf, especially for something that rated a number 3 on their list, was kind of below the knees, especially, just in that location. I didn't know if that was a cross-wide or if there's any rhyme or reason, But with walking in those humidors, the advantage of product placement obviously is huge, because anything between the knees and the tits is a, grabbing reach eye level. Is that something that you have any type of influence on, or is that simply up to the corporate or just the manager of that location?
From what I understand, it's the managers of each location, because each location you go to, my product is placed in a different area, whether it's good or bad. Because I've had some people looking for my cigars and they couldn't find them because the way they had them placed was all fucked up. And, like it was behind like another brand on the shelf. And I was like, what the fuck? So I've been complaining every time I hear about a location. See, I didn't know about Geneva had it bad too. So every time I hear about a location, I either reach out to Jack or one of the other humidor managers I have a great relationship with. And I tell them, like, for the cigars to be highly rated like that, they need to have better placement so people can see them and they'll get them. Because it's a local cigar. A lot of people like to support local businesses. So, and then like I say, like, I'm a retired Chicago firefighter, so first responders want to support too. But it's hard to support if they can't fucking find the shit. So, but I don't have a lot of control over that because it's just three of us. So, we hit Benny's when we can, but, I'm on the road and stuff. So I can't make it to all of them. It's too hard for me. I don't have enough time, But yeah, so people that are watching this, if you're in Benny's and you see my products in a bad placement, either you complain about it while you're there, or send us an email or text us or something. Let me know what location it is so I can mention that that's, at least put it in a better spot so the product will move,
So in that point of discussion, when you're entering brick and mortar locations, is that a topic of discussion, like right off the jump? Hey, product placement, shelf location, or is that something that we just talked about Benny's, but we're talking like, small mom and pop brick and mortars. Is that something you can negotiate when you enter those locations?
Well, when I'm getting placed or getting picked up by a lounge, I don't talk to them about placement. I actually let them do it initially, because a lot of times when you get in the new lounge, they want people to know they have a new cigar out, so they'll put it somewhere so people can see it, from Jump Street, and then they'll move it somewhere else, for like its quote unquote permanent home. I'll wait for that to see where they put it, and then if it's in the bad spot, then I'll start asking, like, hey, that's not really a great spot for you. You think you got something else you can move, and we can put our stuff there that people will see where it is more. So I normally will wait. I don't do that from up front because it's like going in somebody's house and then it's your first time there and you start talking about, hey, you ever thought about putting your couch over there? Like it'll look a lot better over there if you move the couch over there. So so I don't do that. I let them do what they want to do first, and then I'll have a suggestion. And I just talked to a lounge about that last night. I'm carried at, and the cigars are in a bad place, and they weren't moving. So I went in there and I personally moved the cigars for them, not moved them to a different location, but I sold all of them. So, but I also told them, like, hey, you see the Aganorsa stuff over here is moving. It's in a better location. Put my stuff right next to the Aganorsa stuff because it's all Aganorsa, and then let all Aganorsa sell together. So in other lounges, I tell them that too. Like, put my stuff next to Aganorsa stuff. It stands up right with it, just as good, if not better, and it'll move right along with the Aganorsa stuff. So, but this
so last
this
year
is going good with
it was
cigar.
Official that you were joining forces with Illusione.
Right. Yeah, they distribute us. That helped me out tremendously.
How is that? You're a year in now. How has that helped you at all? Pros and cons.
I was doing all the distribution myself, and it was kicking my ass. So, and then I was actually storing everything here at the house. With that last order I placed, it was so big. It was no way I was gonna get all that stuff in my house. So I had to do something. I was actually looking for a warehouse here in Chicago, and I just wasn't successful in finding one that I liked and thought I could do. Then I would have to hire employees to work in their warehouse and all that type of stuff. And I don't have the capital for all of that just yet. So I met Brian Matola from Cavalier, and he talked to me about Illusione and this distribution and blah, blah, blah. Then I talked to Howard about it. He explained to me how everything goes. And I was like, hey, man, I'm fine with it. Let's do it. Because me being associated with them and Aganorsa, that helps me out tremendously. So that's the pros is, it took a lot of work off of my plate. The con is they pay a month after. So anything I sell in March, I won't get paid for that until April. So that kind of throws off my bill schedule and everything because I'm used to, taking a lounge's credit card right then, and then the money will be in my account in a day or two. Now I got to wait for a month. So there's an adjustment period on when I'm getting paid so I can, do what I need to do to pay the people that I owe, So that's the con about it. But other than that, once I got used to that, bro, that's not really a con either. It's just an adjustment period. So. Yeah. So I have a great relationship
to float a little bit here and there. Is Black Star Line available in brick and mortars in other countries? Is Black Star Line international at this point?
I have international customers, but I do not have a lounge presence outside of the United States. So I have customers in Japan. I have customers in England and Germany and Canada. But. I don't have a placement there yet. We did do Intertabac last year, and so we can get our name out there across the pond. And we just haven't gotten any orders yet. So, but they told us when we were there that they move extremely slow. So, and then David Blanco from Blanco Cigars told me that he had to go to Intertabac at least 3 times just to get his first order. And I wasn't too happy about that because it wasn't a cheap trip at all. So I can't keep spending the money, and I'm not getting anything out of it. So we're going to go back to Intertabac, but I probably won't get a booth. I'll probably just take a bunch of samples with me in my suitcase, and then we'll just walk around and network and, give out samples, talk to people, let them know we're still here. We just don't have the booth. And then, try to get something in there. Boofy's is going to try to help us get over there, and Mike Rosales too, because they already have distributors over there. So with them backing me, that may help us to get over there a little faster than me trying to do it on my own. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Boofy, he's going to be in the podcast in May. And I mentioned the Bay Boofy bromance. Has there been any recent shenanigans that you can share in this past year? Or maybe even a specific question you would like me to ask him when he's here on the show?
What could you ask him? I can't remember the exact story. It was a story about him in a lounge going to the bathroom or something. That I can't remember exactly what happened. I had to think about it. I don't know. You could just ask him. How did me and him meet, and how did we become brothers? That'll be a good question to ask him. Because he's gonna tell you about the IG Live we did and that type of thing. So you could ask him that, because that's when we really. Because I didn't know him before that IG Live, and actually I hadn't really smoked in his cigars either, and then we got acquainted on the IG Live, and he just loved me, and he told me after the IG Live, he was like, dude, you're hilarious, and he was like, here's my number. Anytime you need to call me, he was like, fucking call me, bro. He was like, I'm with you. When I saw him at TPE, he told me, he was like, yeah, man. I'm whether you know it or not, I'm unofficial Black Star Line. So he was like, I'm working for you. he was like, man, you the little guy that's fighting it. He was, I'm rooting for you. He's like, whatever I need. So that's my brother, man. I love him. I love him to death. So but this ride goes really well with this.
I can only imagine the chemistry between you two.
Oh yeah.
And you mentioned TPE. TPE 2023 was in February. How did that event go for Black Star Line?
It was good. It seemed a little slower than the past TPEs, but that's because they didn't have it when they normally do. They normally have it at the end of January. So when they had it, what's the name was going on in the Dominican Republic? The big festival they have down there, not Puro Sabor, but Puro Sabor is Nicaragua, but it's it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's a big fucking cigar event that they have down there. So a lot of people went there. Cigar Dojo wasn't even there because they were in fucking Nicaragua, hanging out with Nick Perdomo. So it was some people that were ordinarily there that weren't there because they were elsewhere. We still did well though. So I hate Vegas all the way to my core, but we make money when we go to the trade show, so it's a necessary evil that I got to go through. So I was already looking for Airbnbs for PCA, and I'm just dreading it because it's PCA is longer than TPE, so I'll be in Vegas longer than normal. So
you'll be at PCA. It sounds like. Are you also going to be at Rocky Mountain?
Yeah, I'll be at PCA, bro. It's the recording is kind of like the audio is going in and out sometimes. So,
will you be at Rocky Mountain too?
If I come, it'll be to do events. I won't be doing Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest. I can't do that event until Smokers Friendly picks me up. So, because financially it doesn't work out for me. We got a lot of exposure for the first one that we did, but financially we didn't make any money. We sold a lot of stuff, but you donate 1,500 cigars, to put it for the bags, and then Smokers Friendly keeps 60% of the profit or whatever you sell. So that leaves me down to 40%, and I gave up 1,400 cigars, and it's just for the size I am, I can't do that unless they pick me up. So I ran into Jeremy at CPE, and we talked about it, and I gave him some more samples, and I was like, bro, they're great cigars, and they'll do well. I need y'all to pick me up. So he said he's going to smoke them, and then we'll have a conversation about it. So it's just a matter of me reaching out to him to remind him, like, hey, I haven't forgot. I'm still interested in being carried by Smokers Friendly, and what's up? Because we can make some noise with Smokers Friendly, and they'll buy a lot of product from us, and then I can do Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest because they'll buy enough product, whereas I'm making some money, and then we can, we can be there and, and rock the event out like we would. So,
one more question on events. What upcoming events can folks find Black Star Line? Obviously the big ones are PCA, but what do you have coming up?
Memphis. May 6th is the barbecue cigar
the Tinderbox
event.
Oh
no, Tinderbox is not throwing it.
Okay,
one of my frat brothers. This is his third year. It's the third annual. I'm messing up, and it's like Cigars, Barbecue, and Whiskey is what it's called. So it's a big event he has like right in downtown Memphis. And there's DJs. There's a whole barbecue competition. Uncle Nearest comes. Like the owners of Uncle Nearest come. There's vendors not only selling cigars, but there's vendors that are selling cigar accessories and clothes and all that stuff. So it's a very good event for those that like barbecue and cigars and whiskey. So that's an annual event I do with them. I'll probably be in the Smokers Abbey tent because normally I sell the product to them, and then I show up and I sell the product for them at their booth. Because they participate in the event, and they're the only lounge that's there that actually has an owner of a brand that comes and helps them sell. So we'll be there for that. I'm gonna do some at Havana Mix right on Bill Street. I'm gonna do something at Spring Street, and then I'm probably gonna do something with Tinderbox too, because I'm carrying in all 4 locations and for them too. So. So like I said, in Memphis, I'll probably end up doing 4 events. So I'm going to be busy as hell in Memphis.
You mentioned events, and you mentioned a cigar you did for Underground for the NFG.
Mm-hmm.
Do you normally or will you be bringing that event stick to those events as well, or do you have a specific release that you do for certain events?
No, I'll only do a special release for an event if they request it. They don't request it, I'm just coming with my core line. So, and I can't bring the one from Underground because it's damn near sold out anyway. So, like I said, I think they only have roughly about 100 cigars left. So, and those won't last long because everybody's been talking about them. And some people said they're going to be eating ramen for the next couple of months because they're going to keep buying the bundles until they're gone. So, yeah, it's like when I tell you it was a fantastic cigar, I was really pleased how that came out because I don't work with a lot of Dominican tobacco, and it's my first time really working with it. And it came out very, very good. Some people say it rivals the Warwich. So, yeah.
I mean, I feel like Nicaragua has it's, maybe here's a play on Aganorsa, but Nicaragua's like New Cuba, right? Like you have phenomenal leaves being grown in Nicaragua and the Estelí, Jalapa Valley. But the DR doesn't get enough recognition. And I feel like, you have your Davidoff, I believe, is down there, and the Opus X is from the DR. So it only makes sense that people are just eating up that. Yeah. And so I can't wait to try to get my hands on one of those and to see. So let's have a little fun with some folks here. We talked about this. Black Star Line obviously is the official sponsor of the Cigar Social Podcast. You've heard the advertisement before the episode started. Let's do a little bit of a giveaway, a little bit of sweepstakes, a little bit of fun. This is how you're going to enter, folks. Enter the comments, whether it be wherever you're listening, and I'll search through all of them. Give me your best knock-knock joke. Some of them are going to be, fall flat. Some of them are going to make me laugh. Aric and I might even collaborate and try to find the best one. But this kind of falls in line with my next episode, which is going to be on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Folks, I'm going to have a buddy here of mine. He lives a couple blocks away. He is the dad joke expertise. He is one of the funniest guys that I know locally. And we're going to sit here in the shed and we're going to joke off. I said joke off. The winner, go into the comments section. Give me your best knock-knock joke. We're going to sift through it. And then on the next episode, we'll announce the winner.
Well, let's tell them what they're going to get,
Aric,
though.
What are they going to win here?
So I am willing to have a Black Star Line sampler pack. So it'll be one dark Warwich, one Connecticut Warwich, one Lalibela, one El Milagro Sungrown, and one El Milagro Corojo. And you'll get a Colibri V cutter with the Black Star Line logo on the back. So it's
guys, you see that? That's awesome.
And a brand new branded Colibri Black Star Line V cutter. So I'm sure a lot of people.
Folks, don't forget to. Yeah, I mean YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon. There's so many. We're broadcasting everywhere, all platforms. So go into the comments section. Give me your best knock-knock joke, and maybe your name will be called on the next episode. Well, Aric, again, I believe this episode's down to a nub. I'm coming down to the label. It's coming too quick. I love this cigar, by the way. This thing is phenomenal.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
That was the bad part about the Robusto when you start making it, because it's like the end comes quicker, and this thing is just outstanding.
You get that one tear dropping out your eye, like God damn, it's over.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those like, man, You know, some cigars are nub worthy, right? You just kind of smoke it till you can't hold it any longer. People even have little pokes and prodders and tools and I've even seen people stick it in a pagar just to get everything out of it. I might invest in a pagar just for this cigar. Dude, thanks for joining, man. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot on your plate. So thanks for chatting here at the Cigar Social. Friends of the Leaf, don't forget to check out Black Star Line Cigars at blackstarline.shop. Use promo code CigarSocial15. That'll get you 15% off your entire order and free shipping on all orders over $100. So take advantage of that, and you're welcome. And thank you. And as I mentioned, next episode will be April Fool's. It's going to be the smoke and joke episode, so it should be a good time. Until we put smoke in the air, stay safe. It's crazy out there. We'll see you next time here at the Cigar Social Podcast.